Hello YouTube family, I hope that you are all doing as well as you possibly can be, considering it is eclipse month and a lot of powerful energies are rising to the surface for us to clear and transmute and transform so we can be in our most ideal and healed vibrations. And this is going to continue into the month of October. This energy doesn't just complete itself just like that. Like, we are as humans constantly processing and going through this growth journey. And yeah, October, it's going to continue on, which is this video. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the energies that I see coming up for us using a blend of tarot, numerology and some Vedic astrology insights. These are all really interconnected, these tools of reading energy. Just like everything in our universe, everything is connected. And my cat is also a part of this video, so a bit more special. My cat Tiger is like a little sage as well, and I feel like when he's in my videos there's more energy, there's more wisdom, and let me just show you Tiger, it's just here. I'm gonna leave the video like this so you can all see him too, because he's a powerful healer. So the month of October is a number 10 month in numerology. October is the 10th month of every year, so there's already the 10, and then when you add up 10 plus 20, 25 for this year, the numerology of October is also 10. So 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. 10 is the big number of completion. In tarot, when you look at the number 10 of any, like the 10 of swords, the 10 of wands, the 10 of pentacles, the 10 of cups, all of these 10 numbers signify a completion and really coming to that state of ultimate fulfillment of that energy of either fire, water, air or earth. It's coming to that full completion and fulfillment. So it's a really powerful number. And the 10 is also the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune is a really powerful card. It is, the literal word fortune is in this card. It's a fortunate card, but it's also showing you that there is this wheel of life that we are constantly growing. We're constantly going through the motion of change. Nothing is ever the same, where things, energy is always moving. We are always moving. Things are always happening. We can never just stop and be in some sort of void place. Even in that void place, when we do maybe feel like things aren't moving, there is so much going on always. Even maybe it's behind the scenes in your internal world that the shifts are taking place, which in my opinion are the most powerful shifts that take place, because then they are reflected in your outer work, in your outer reality, sorry. So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune represents change and impermanence, like nothing is the same. It's also about cycles repeating, and it was also the Wheel of Fortune month in January this year, because it was number 1 plus 2025 is also number 10. So January, like things that happen in January may resurface. Yeah, things that happened in the month of January, they may definitely possibly return or resurface for our healing and reprocessing, to see things in that new perspective of where we're at now with our consciousness. And I do see a big theme of repeating, resurfacing, revisiting. So this wheel of fortune needs to go back, to return, to revisit before it can move forward. And this theme I really see with the Vedic astrology because of the planet Jupiter and what is going on with Jupiter, which is quite significant. So Jupiter has been in a star, a nakshatra called Purnavasu, since August, I have my notes here, August 13th. So last month, August 13th, Jupiter entered Purnavasu nakshatra, and it's actually going to stay in this nakshatra, this star, until the 18th of June 2026. So this is a very long time, and Jupiter will be retrograding in November, so it will literally be going back. But for this month of October, what's happening is Jupiter is in Gemini currently. In Vedic astrology, this is not Western, and then we'll be entering Cancer on October 18th, and we'll stay in Cancer until December 5th. In November, on the 11th of November, this is when Jupiter will start to retrograde, so this wheel will be going back. Also, the Wheel of Fortune, the planet that rules the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. So yeah, Jupiter is big this month in October. It's coming alive. So Jupiter will be retrograding from the 11th of November until the 11th of March next year, 2026. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes properly now. So just to clarify, Jupiter will be retrograding from the 11th of November until the 11th of March. It will be going forward in the sign of Gemini from the 11th of March, and then it will go forward and forward and forward, and then it will enter Cancer on June 1st. But the nakshatra of Purnavasu is between both Gemini and Cancer. This star is the energies of the last degrees of Gemini and the beginning part of Cancer, so it contains both. So Jupiter will be in Purnavasu nakshatra from the 13th of August, from which has already started, until the 18th of June. So basically, this sign of Purnavasu is trying to really teach us a lot in a very long time frame, and these teachings have already begun, and it is a very auspicious time because the traditional ruler of Purnavasu, because all these nakshatras or stars have their own planetary ruler as well, the planetary ruler of Purnavasu is also Jupiter, and Jupiter is really exalted here when it enters the sign of Cancer, which will be on October 18th. And because it's also going to be retrograding in starting from November, it just shows how important it is for us to take on the teachings of revisiting and returning back to previous states of being, of consciousness, of memories, to reprocess, to reintegrate, and to take things on and see them in a new light. Purnavasu literally means the return of the light, and there are a lot of themes associated with this star of like very retrograde like themes of returning back and revisiting to be able to renew yourself ultimately. And it's a very healing energy, the return of the light. It's literally like reviving yourself, like rejuvenating your soul on so many levels. So I do feel like October is really powerful in that way, especially it makes sense post eclipse month, when eclipse is like the great purge and release, and like it can feel very void-like and very, very chaotic and very turbulent. And there's always a calm after the storm, or I know the phrase is usually calm before the storm, but this is the calm after the storm, and it's like the rainbow that appears after a thunderstorm. This is the rainbow. This is the time when, yeah, there is a return and a rejuvenation of your clarity and the, yeah, that just that light that comes through post learning, through hardships and through traumatic situations, and through the lessons that come up during the eclipses. There is a symbol in this nakshatra of a quiver of arrows, like a whole bunch of arrows that you are preparing to launch and to aim at the target. And this is so symbolic of those arrows. Like, it's not just in one go that you reach your goals. There is a lot of trials and lessons and practice and steps that need to be taken in order to reach your goals and to understand what is important to you. There is like, yeah, there's just a number of arrows that you need to launch before you will actually succeed. And also the whole process of, like with a bow and arrow, when you pull that arrow back, it's symbolic of you need to sometimes go back in time. When Jupiter will be retrograding, for example, you have to go back into the past. Sometimes you have to take a few steps back before you can launch and propel yourself full speed ahead towards your target. And before you launch as well, you need to know where you're aiming towards. You need to figure that out, and you need to make sure you're aiming in the right direction. And Purnivasu is a lot to do with that. It's about gaining that deep clarity and aligning yourself on all levels, which is a powerful thing that is going to be just coming forth, and we're just going to be embodying that and understanding that on such a deep level with what's happening with the stars. And another thing with Purnivasu is the deity is Mother Goddess Aditi, who is so like bountiful with abundance and just is very connected to everything, like the earth, the cosmos, the stars, nature. She is the mother of all, and there is just this divine energy of motherly nurturance coming to all of us and reminding us also to connect with all of the elementals and nature and astrology as well, with the stars, with the wisdom of the stars, and also connecting with the earth and, you know, grounding and being out in nature, connecting with the sun, connecting with everything, and just being more in nature always is so healing, and connecting deeper with yourself as well, with your inner world and what's coming up to rejuvenate and revive in this time. Another thing I wanted to mention with this Wheel of Fortune card is that when the wheel of life is turning, and it's turning really fast, and there is all of these things going on in our external environment, it is so important to be in your center. And this theme has come up for me, and I've been saying it a lot. I heard someone say this on YouTube, that when did it become a bad thing to be self-centered? And obviously, like, it's not good to be like overly selfish and in your ego, but I would say this card is reminding us to be soul-centered and to remain in your center, to really remain grounded and to really be strong and sure of yourself. And the more in that center you are in your, wheel of life, the less affected you'll be by the changes that are taking place. You'll always know that you are grounded within yourself. With the moon cycles, the first full moon is happening on October 6th or 7th in Pisces in the nakshatra called Revati, which is interesting. That Wheel of Fortune energy comes up again with the first full moon, because Revati is about the ending or completion of a cycle and the new beginning that's about to take place, because Revati is the very last nakshatra. So it is like a final culmination point. And there is this Mother Earth embodied energy as well that comes with Revati, of really being connected to harvesting blessings. So yeah, that is, that fortune part of blessings returning. And I do feel like with the Jupiter that is slowly moving towards that retrograde, and then during that retrograde phase, when we're going back in time to revisit and to renew ourselves, that is when we can undergo blessings and receive good karma for past good deeds that we may have done. And yeah, I say that because when Jupiter enters the Cancer portion, it will be in a really positive aspect to Saturn, which is in Pisces, and Saturn rules karma. So yeah, I do think there's going to be a good karmic turning of our wheel of life in the direction that is way more aligned with our soul's path and purpose. And that full moon is in Pisces. So the first full moon of this month of October will be connected with Saturn, which is also in Pisces. So this karmic energy is also playing a role with the wheel, and this karmic energy of Saturn is also a lot to do with the boundaries that we have in our life and the devotion and the dedication that we put into ourselves and what is truly important. So when you think about all of that, it's like this wheel, like if you think about this as yourself, like we need to have a strong boundary, a strong center in ourselves, and to knowing what is truly important to us and what we're striving towards each day and what our goals are, what our values, our priorities, like that is all Saturnian influence. So that's going to be in positive aspect to Jupiter very soon by the mid-October 18th. And while it's in the Gemini portion, it's still also being aspected by Saturn, but what's coming up is going to feel a little bit more, I guess, harsher and a bit more like really trying to irritate us into shifting some beliefs, mindsets, actions, habits, patterns, like all of the things that aren't serving us. It makes sense. Post-eclipse, we need to be irritated into changing sometimes. There are things that maybe we are comfortable with, that we, like this Wheel of Fortune doesn't want us to keep going around in circles, repeating the same things over and over again. So that is another thing. And then we have the new moon on October 21st or 22nd, and this new moon is happening in Libra, which we do have a lot of Libra energy this month in October as well. So that Libra energy is wanting us to really create balance and peace and harmony in our life, and to really focus on doing what is right. Libra is the Justice card in tarot, so it's all about like really making sure everything is divinely aligned and in order. So yeah, that's just a few things I wanted to share for this month of October. I just thought I'd make a quick video, and also apologies, I know this is a bit late. I really want to try and make my videos so that you have more time to prepare. But I'm here, I made it, I did it, and I hope that you are all doing alright with the eclipses. I'm sending you so much healing and love. I'd love to hear what's been happening in your lives as well. Let me know. I love to hear all of your stories always. And thank you for connecting with me. I am sending so much love, and I will speak to you all again very soon.